Hello, my dear students. This is Vijay Lakshmi from English department. My dear friends, in our previous class, we were learning the concept called tenses. And in today's session, let us go ahead with the same concept. And now, I would like to teach you the further part of the tenses, that is simple past tense. In our previous class, we learned simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. And today, let us learn the further types of the tenses. So, now let us learn simple past tense. My dear friends, this simple past tense it is used for a past action with past time adverbs, and it is also used for a past discontinued habits. Here you can see this simple past tense, it is used to talk about what happened at a definite time in the past. And also, my dear friends, there are some common expressions that we use while framing the sentence on the basis of the simple past tense, and those are the time expressions are yesterday, last night, a month ago, last week, yesterday afternoon, etc. So we can say that this simple past tense, it is used to talk about what happened at a definite time in the past. And another thing is that in simple present tense, dear students, we do not use any auxiliary helping verbs, but here in simple present tense, we do use V2 form of the main verb. See, here you can see in this picture, while framing a sentence, while framing an affirmative sentence, the formula to this simple present tense is first comes a subject and then comes verb to form. Verb to is, for example, if eat is there, it becomes ate. Verb to a form of the eat is ate. So first comes the subject and then comes the verb to part and then comes the object. There is an example. The teacher came. The teacher came to school. I can say that the teacher came to school. So if we want to use to be form of helping verb, first comes a subject and then comes to be form of helping verb. For example, I was a stamp collector. See here was is working, it is a helping verb, it is not a main verb. I was a stamp collector. So this is about framing a sentence, framing an affirmative sentence. And then while framing a negative sentence, the formula should be first comes a subject and then comes a did, that is do form of the helping verb, and then comes a not, and then comes the following object. Okay, and if you want to use helping verbs, first comes a subject and then comes helping verbs such as was and were, and then comes a not, and then comes the object. Here you can see the example, the teacher didn't come. When you use the word did, you are not supposed to use the V2 form of the main verb. The main verb should take first form, that is V1 form. So the teacher didn't come. And look at the next sentence, I wasn't a stamp collector. This is about negative form of the statements. So to frame the same sentence into an interrogative form, first comes do form of helping verb, that is did. Since we are framing the sentence in simple past tense, first comes a did and then comes a subject and then comes the infinitive. See here, did the teacher come? Here you should put a question mark. First comes a did and then comes the teacher, that is the subject. And if you want to use helping verbs, first comes the helping verb and then comes the subject. So first comes was. Was I a stamp collector? Along with the question mark. This is about simple present tense. I told you how to frame a sentence, how to frame an affirmative sentence in simple past tense, and a negative sentence in simple past tense, and also an interrogative sentence in simple past tense. One thing please do remember, when we use main verb in a sentence, it should be used in a V2 form, and when we use helping verbs, the two helping verbs should be used in simple past tense. Those are was and were. This is about simple present tense. And now let us learn the further part of the tense, that is past continuous tense. So my dear friends, this past continuous tense, it is used for an action going on at some time in the past. First thing is, this past continuous tense, as the word continuous symbolizes, it is an ongoing action. See, it has to be used for an action going on at some time in the past, or else it is used for a persistent habit in the past. Or else we can say that this past continuous tense, it is used to describe an action or events in a time before now, which began in the past and is still, which is going on at the time of speaking. And to make the past simple tense with the be form, see here, to frame a sentence on the basis of this past continuous tense, we should use two helping verbs. Those are was and were. Here are the formulas. See, to frame an affirmative sentence in past continuous tense, the formula is subject plus helping verb plus V1, and we should add ing to the V1, and then comes the object. First comes the subject, then we should put helping verb, either it is was or were on the basis of the subject. If the subject is singular I, we should use was. If the subject is plural we, again were comes. If the subject is second person singular you should use were. If the subject is second person plural you, again the helping verb should be were. If the subject is he or she or it at the time, we should use was again, and for the subject they, we should use were. And then comes the main verb, and we should add ing to the main verb. Here you can see the example. She was cooking all morning. She is a subject, was is helping verb. Since the subject she is third person singular pronoun, okay, so was is used. Cook is main verb, and ing is added to that cook to symbolize the ongoing action. All morning. This is about an affirmative sentence in past continuous tense. See, further sentence is, it is a negative sentence of past continuous tense. Subject comes first, then comes a helping verb, and then comes not, and then comes verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1, and then comes the object. Look at the sentence. She was not sleeping when he came home. And let us have a look on an interrogative sentence. To frame an interrogative sentence, first comes the helping verb, that is was or were, and then comes the subject, and then comes the verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. See, look at the sentence. Was she sleeping when he came home? With the question mark. This is about past continuous tense. Please do remember the formula for an affirmative sentence in past continuous tense is subject plus helping verb was or were plus verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1, and then comes the further part of the sentence. This is about past continuous tense. Well, now let us learn past perfect tense. My dear friends, this past perfect tense, it is used to express one of the two past actions which had completed earlier. Remember, past perfect tense, it is used to express one of the two past actions which had completed earlier, or else this past perfect tense, it is used to refer to actions that took place and were completed in the past. Okay, so this past perfect tense, it is used to express one of the two past actions which had completed earlier. And now let us see the formula of past perfect tense. Dear friends, to frame an affirmative sentence in past perfect tense, we should use subject first. First comes the subject, and then comes a helping verb again, which is an helping verb of to have form. In my previous class, while teaching helping verbs, I told you in helping verbs there are three types, such as to be form of helping verbs, to have form of helping verbs, and to do form of helping verbs. In to have form of helping verbs, there are three auxiliaries. Those are have, has, and had. Dear friends, have and has are used in present perfect tense, whereas had is used in past perfect tense. So, see, to frame a sentence in past perfect tense, first comes the subject, then comes the helping verb had, and then comes the past participle of the main verb, and then the object follows the sentence. Here you can see the example. She had finished the test. She is a subject, had is helping verb, and finished is the verb 3 form of a main verb. So the formula is subject plus had plus past participle plus the continuation part of the sentence. And then to frame a sentence, a negative sentence in past perfect tense, the formula should be subject plus had not or hadn't plus past participle. For example, she hadn't finished the test. And then to frame an interrogative sentence, had comes first, then comes the subject, and then comes the past participle. For example, had she finished the test? This is about past perfect tense. My dear friends, I request you to remember the formulas of these tenses. These are very, very important. See, the formula of past perfect tense is if the sentence is an affirmative sentence in past perfect tense, the formula should be subject plus had plus past participle. If it is a negative sentence in past perfect tense, the formula should be subject plus had not or hadn't plus past participle. If the sentence should be in an interrogative form, the formula should be had plus subject plus past participle. It's about past perfect tense. Well, now let us see the use of past perfect continuous tense. The fourth type of past tense, that is past perfect continuous tense. Dear students, this past perfect continuous tense, it is used for an action which began and had been on progress before another action started. Remember, this past perfect continuous tense, it is used for an action which began and had been on progress before another action started, or else this past perfect continuous tense, it corresponds to the present perfect continuous but with reference to a time earlier than before now. Please do remember, past perfect continuous tense, it is used for an action which began and had been on progress before another action started. And the formula of past perfect continuous tense is if the subject is going to be framed on the basis of affirmative sentence, the formula should be subject plus had plus been plus verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. See, to frame an affirmative sentence in past perfect continuous tense, the formula should be subject plus had plus been plus verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. And then to frame a negative sentence in past perfect continuous tense, the formula should be subject plus had not or hadn't plus been plus verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. Example, they hadn't been playing tennis. An example for past perfect affirmative sentence is they had been playing tennis. And an example for past perfect continuous negative sentence is they hadn't been playing tennis. And finally, to frame a sentence, to frame an interrogative sentence in past perfect continuous tense, we should use had first, and then comes the subject, and then comes been, and then comes verb 1 plus ing. Example, had they been playing tennis? It's an example for past perfect continuous tense. Now let us learn future tense. I told you in future again there are 4 types. Those are simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and future perfect continuous tense. And now I would like to speak about simple future tense. Dear friends, simple future tense is used for the future actions, or else I can say that this simple future refers to a time later than now, and it expresses facts certainly. So this simple future tense, it is used for the future actions. And the formula of simple future tense is first comes the subject and then comes modal auxiliary, that is will or shall, and then comes the verb 1. Example, I will go to Thailand. Here subject comes first, that is I, and then will is used, either will or shall, and then comes the verb. And to frame a negative sentence in simple future tense, first comes the subject and then comes will not or won't, and then comes the verb 1. For example, I will not go to Thailand. And then to frame an interrogative sentence, first comes will or shall, that is the modal auxiliary, and then comes the subject and then comes verb. For example, will you go to Thailand, with a question mark. This is about simple future tense. The formula for an affirmative sentence in simple future tense is subject plus modal auxiliary, that is will or shall, and then comes verb 1. And to frame a negative sentence in simple future, the formula should be subject plus will not or won't plus verb 1. And to frame an interrogative sentence in simple future tense, the formula should be will plus subject plus verb 1. This is about simple future tense. And future continuous tense. Now we are learning future continuous tense, and this future continuous tense, it is used for an action going on in future. Here this future continuous tense, it is used for an action going on in future, or it is used for future planned actions. The future continuous tense, it is used to describe actions ongoing in the future, and this future progressive is used to refer to continuing action that will occur in the future. Then, what is the formula of future continuous tense? Look at this image. To frame a sentence, affirmative sentence in future continuous tense, first comes a subject, then comes will, and then comes be form, that is be, and then comes verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. See the sentence, I will be singing in the concert tomorrow. I will be singing. I is a subject, will is a modal auxiliary, and be is used, and sing is main verb, and ing is used for the main verb, that is sing, as it is a rule of future continuous tense. And for a negative sentence of future continuous tense, first comes a subject, and then comes a will not, and then comes a be, and then comes verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. A sentence is, I will not be singing. I will not be singing in the concert tomorrow. And then for an interrogative sentence in future continuous tense, first comes will, and then comes a subject, then comes a be, and then comes verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. Example, will you be singing in the concert tomorrow? This is about future continuous tense. Please do remember the formula of future continuous tense. The formula should be subject plus will plus be form plus v1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. This is about future continuous tense. Now let us learn future perfect tense. See, this future perfect tense, it is used for a future completed action. It is used for a future completed action, or it refers to a completed action in the future. And the formula of future perfect tense is subject comes first, then comes will, and then we should use a have, and then comes the past participle of the main verb. For example, he will have done it by this evening. He is a subject, will is modal auxiliary, have is again a helping verb, done is V3 form. In negative form, subject comes first, will comes next, and then comes not, and then comes have, and then comes past participle. See here, he will not have done it by this evening. And to frame an interrogative sentence, first comes a modal auxiliary, that is will, and then comes a subject, and then have, and then we should put past participle. So will he have done it by this evening? So the formula of future perfect tense is subject plus will plus have plus participle for an affirmative sentence. Subject plus will plus not plus have plus past participle for a negative sentence in future perfect tense. And modal auxiliary, that is will plus subject plus have plus past participle for an interrogative sentence in future perfect tense. And now it's time to have a look on the last type of the tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. My dear friends, this future perfect continuous tense, it is used for an action going on in future, and it will continue to a certain time in future. See, this future continuous tense is used to indicate a continuing action that will be completed at some specified time in the future. And the formulas for a future perfect continuous tense is the sentence to frame an affirmative sentence in future perfect continuous tense. The formula is subject plus will plus have, and then comes been, and then comes verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. Example, I will have been eating vegetables for 3 months. Here I is a subject, will is modal auxiliary, have been comes next, and eat is verb 1, and ing is added to the eat. So it is a symbolizing the continuing action in the future time. And then to frame a negative sentence in future perfect continuous tense, the formula is subject plus modal auxiliary, that is will, and then comes not, and then comes a have, then been plus verb 1 plus ing. Example, I won't have been eating vegetables for 3 months. And finally, to frame an interrogative sentence on the basis of this future perfect continuous tense, the formula is first comes a modal auxiliary helping verb, that is will, and then comes a subject, and further have comes, and then comes been, and we should put verb 1, and we should add ing to the verb 1. Remember, this ing in all the tenses, whether it is in present tense or past tense or in future tense, in present continuous tense and in present perfect continuous tense, we are adding ing to the main verb. And then in past continuous tense and in past perfect continuous tense, we are adding ing to the main verb. And the same way in future continuous tense and in future perfect continuous tense, we are adding ing to the main verb, because this ing to the main verb, it symbolizes the continuation of the action, as the names of the tenses represents, like present continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense, past continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future continuous tense, and future perfect continuous tense. So that's it for today's class. I hope you understood the types of the verbs and the types of the tenses. I taught you all the 12 types of tenses. Mainly there are 3 types: present tense, past tense, and future tense. In present, again there are 4 types. In past, again there are 4 types. And even in future, again there are 4 types. I taught you all the 12 types of the tenses, as well as the formulas to frame sentences on the basis of all these 12 types of the tenses. Hope I am clear in teaching all these 12 tenses, and I hope you have understood these tenses. Please do practice on the tenses, because tense is a main part of the grammar. And another thing that I want to tell you, that this tense, it is there for your first quarterly test. Please do learn it. And that's it for this today's class, and I'll be looking forward for your queries. If you get any questions regarding tenses and verbs regarding this grammar part, you can drop your questions in the comment box of my YouTube channel. So well, we shall that's it for today's class. We shall meet soon in our next class. Till the time we meet next, happy learning, and keep loving English language, literature, and grammar. Thank you.